The bill has passed in the Senate. The Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 is on its way to becoming law. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, just moments ago, we got some new information out of the Senate in regards to their next reconciliation bill, otherwise known as the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. Now, this is the bill that was crafted behind closed doors by Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin, and over the last week or so, we've been getting a little bit more information on this bill. Well, the Senate has been in session for the last roughly 30 hours or so, debating the bill, vote-a-rama on the bill, and of course, voting on the bill. So I want to talk you through the process of where we currently are with this thing right now, what is in the bill for you, and where do we go from here. There's a lot to talk about as things are changing very rapidly right now, so let's get into the details. However, really quickly before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as I'm watching all of these details along with everything else going on right now, breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay updated with what's actually going on right now as things are changing so incredibly fast. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get into it and talk about what the Senate just did today and where do we go from here on this bill. All right, now remember, this is the $433 billion bill that's expected to generate about $739 billion of revenue as a result of it. Well, within this bill, there's about $350 billion of climate funding. There's about $80 billion in there for the IRS, and there is a couple other provisions in there as well, which allows Medicare as one of the provisions to start negotiating out some of these prescription items with pharmaceutical makers. However, the main problem with that one, and just like I described in that last video a few hours ago, is that unfortunately that will actually not go into effect until 2026, and at that time they're only going to be encompassing 10 different prescription items. So it's not really going to do a whole lot, right? At the end of the day, there are hundreds, even thousands of different prescription items across the board. So 10 of them, it's a nice little start, but nowhere near where we actually need it to be right now, right? So that's a little bit that's in there. So let's talk through the details here and what actually has happened over the last short amount of time, as well as where we go from right here. All right, so as I mentioned, yesterday morning, the Senate reconvened, where they spent about 4 hours yesterday debating this bill. And then again, at about 11:30 p.m. last night, they started the vote-a-rama process. In fact, it went all night long, and according to what I was reading on this, it sounds like they voted on about 20 different amendments on this bill. Well, then shortly thereafter, this afternoon, when they wrapped up the vote-a-rama process, so just moments ago, they actually held the final vote on this bill. Now, yesterday evening, they did also hold a procedural vote, and that was basically just a vote to say, okay, yes, we can continue. It was basically just like a practice vote. Is basically what it comes down to with the procedural vote. However, they just held the final vote on this bill moments ago, and it passed. So this is the major hurdle. As I've talked about so many times over the last couple years here, as we've been following things out of Congress very, very closely here, I've said this so many different times. If it gets through the Senate, it's pretty much a done deal, because the House of Representatives, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, is just a big old rubber stamp. They basically pass anything that comes to them. So as a result of that, since this started in the Senate and it is now passed in the Senate, we can pretty much guarantee it will for sure pass through the House of Representatives, which, by the way, they actually anticipate to come back on Friday, this coming Friday, in just a matter of days from now, to vote on this bill, and then once they pass it, it'll go on to the president shortly thereafter for the final signature, turning this bill into law. So this is where we currently stand on this thing. It is pretty much a done deal at this point, even though it is not passed through the House of Representatives. Like I just said a second ago, honestly, I wouldn't worry about it 1 second, just simply because the fact of the matter is they're going to pass it. Unless something really, really weird happens, which honestly, I don't anticipate that happening, even though there's a lot of weird things that happen these days. It's going to pass through the House of Representatives, and then it'll move on to the president. However, now let's quickly talk about what is in this bill for you. Well, let's all say it together. A big ol' nothing. Yep, that's right. There's nothing in this bill for you, okay? That's the problem with this bill. It's $433 billion of new spending. In fact, here's what's interesting about it. I was reading about this bill today, and some people have changed the name from the Inflation Reduction Act to the Inflation Increasing Act of 2022, because just like Bernie Sanders said from the Senate floor yesterday, this is not going to do anything to inflation. So the name that they have on this bill is unfortunately completely not accurate. And again, I am not taking political sides here. I'm being real with you right now, because here's the thing. if they add this extra spending right now during a very high inflationary time that we're currently going through right now, this is just going to exacerbate the inflation situation. So here's a couple other things that we can anticipate going forward. Inflation will continue to move on higher. Remember, the last report that we got just a few weeks ago on inflation came in at 9.1%. Yep, that's probably going to continue on. So we can almost guarantee inflation will continue to move higher. Here's a couple other things that I would anticipate as well. The Federal Reserve will likely continue to aggressively raise interest rates as an effort to actually bring down some of this inflation that will, once again, continue to rage on because of all of this stuff going on right now. So as a result of that, we're going to continue to contend with high inflation going forward. We're going to continue to contend with the Federal Reserve aggressively raising interest rates, basically costing us more money on any borrowed money that we have right now. So any inflation rate, any interest rate that is tied to the money that we are borrowing right now, whether it's a personal loan, credit cards, anything like this, any types of new debt instruments that we're opening up, like a mortgage or a personal line of credit or a personal loan, a home equity line of credit, refinancing a mortgage, an auto loan, literally anything like this. If we're floating balances on credit cards, it's all going to continue to cost more as the Federal Reserve steps up and tries to raise interest rates even more here to try to bring down some of this inflation going forward. So again, just pointing all this stuff out, we need to be aware of the big picture here. Yes, we can look at the bill and just say, okay, it's just a bill, who cares, whatever. It's just $433 billion, whatever. It's just chump change, right? I'm kidding, by the way. It's not chump change. That is a ton of money. $433 billion is a lot of money, right? I think all of us here would be very, very glad to evenly split $433 billion across all of us. We would all be probably multimillionaires. I'm not even sure what that would calculate out to be. Probably be a little over $1 million a piece. So it'd be a lot of money, right? Well, maybe not $1 million. Anyway, I can run that calculation later, but I did not run it right now. And yeah, when it comes to dealing with those big numbers like that, sometimes I confuse myself. But anyway, I can go through the numbers later. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes down to it, the bill's a done deal. Now, here's the thing. This is something that they've wanted to get done here for like 10 years. I've been reading on this, and apparently Democrats have been working on a climate-type bill for about 10 years now. And this is what they just wanted to do, right? So they finally got this done because this is a big priority item that they've been working on. Now, they anticipate going into the midterm elections, this is going to give them a boost, and they think this is going to be great for the American people. And again, I'm not here to take political sides. I'm not saying anything good or bad about Democrats or Republicans. I'm simply saying this is the fact of the matter. But when it comes down to the midterm elections and all of us have less money in our pockets and paying more inflation and higher interest rates, I don't know. Does that get y'all excited? Doesn't get me too excited. I don't enjoy paying a higher interest on maybe any balances I'm carrying on a credit card. I don't enjoy paying more every time I go to the grocery store. I don't like it. I'm not sure if you do, but I certainly don't. But it's not really a fun time of my life when I go and look at the receipt every single time or the cash register every single time we're checking out. And it's like, oh, great. It's an extra $20 this week. Nice. I love it. An extra $20 that I could have used on something else. But yet, just paying for it, inflation. That's it. Every day, right? Every single day, things are going up. So this is the fact of the matter that things are going higher. Which, by the way, I also want to throw this out there as well. I mentioned this in a video a couple days ago, and I want to throw this out there one more time. A private study on this actual bill actually introduced and found that this bill is going to raise taxes by $16.15 billion on those individuals with an income under $200,000. And the vast majority of that money, over $10 billion of that revenue that's going to be coming from those individuals with an income under $10,000. So for those of you with an income under 10 grand, the money that you don't have, well, guess what? They're going to take more of it from you in the form of taxes, according to what this private study was saying. So, just saying, right? Do you really want to do that? Again, I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not taking political sides here. I'm just simply saying this is the fact of the matter. And again, I feel all of us are probably, kind of sharing the frustration with this is, okay, this is supposed to be an Inflation Reduction Act, but really it's not going to do anything to inflation. It's going to basically hammer people down even more than it already is right now. And kind of a sad situation. I feel like, they had this opportunity to do something great for the American people. Not everybody needs something right now, but at least a small portion of the population sure would have been nice to get something done for them. But instead they gave us, well, not even a bone. They didn't even throw us a bone. So That's where we currently sit right now. But anyway, it's a done deal through the Senate. So we've been talking about this here for the last couple weeks now. Basically, just one more vote on this thing coming out of the House of Representatives on Friday, and then it goes on to the president, where there's going to be a big hurrah moment where he signs it, and then take a lap around and cheer and whatever else they do. I don't really know, but the fact of the matter is, this is what's going on right now, and just wanted to let you know what is going on, where we stand with this bill right now, and what we can anticipate out of this thing. So again, like I've said so many times in this video, I don't take political sides in my videos, but rather I'm just feeling a little bit frustrated that there's nothing in this bill for the people. I'm feeling so bad for everybody in this community. I see the comments down below every single day, the struggle that's real. Some of you living in your cars, some of you not having enough food on the table, some of you not being able to pay your rent or your mortgages, being afraid that you're going to be tossed out of your house, or losing your home to foreclosure or evicted, things like this. People that are worried about losing their cars, or that don't have enough food on the table. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I see the comments down below every single day. I feel that all of us are just sharing in this frustration right now that they had this great opportunity to do something great for the American people, and they blew it. They did absolutely nothing. So again, I just want to throw that out there for you, that this is what's really going on right now. So anyway, just want to throw that out there, let you know where we stand with this bill right now, what's going on with it, and what it all contains. So anyway, as I do get more details on anything else going on right now, as there is a lot else of other bills and things that are going on in Congress right now, of course, I'll be here for you, breaking it all down, letting you know what's going on and how it's going to impact you going forward as a low-income and or fixed-income beneficiary. So again, no matter what's going on right now, please remember, I am here for you in any way possible. Go back and check out some of the other videos. Unlike Congress, I'm actually doing something for you by actually sending a bunch of stuff out. So go back and check out some of the other videos, including that one from earlier today. Check that one out. Leave your comments down below, and I'm choosing as many people as I possibly can to get some things out to you and some money out to you, unlike Congress, who clearly can't do anything for the American people, but rather I want to do something. So leave those comments down below on that video from earlier, and again, I will continue to choose people every single day. I'll be getting packages out to you, so go back and check out that video so you can get your name in the hat, and again, hopefully your name will be drawn soon. So I'm choosing people, doing what I can here. But unlike Congress, I don't have a checkbook that has literally an infinite amount of money in it. I have limited resources. Just like everybody else, I have to work within the parameters that I have, unlike Congress, who literally just has unlimited amounts of play money, which is otherwise known as our money, that they get to spend at their will. I don't know. Sad. And they don't even give back to us. Seriously. They could do something for us right now. At least the people that are struggling so badly, at least throw us a bone. So I don't know. I'm just feeling so frustrated that so many of us here need the extra assistance, and they've done nothing. They've overlooked us once again. So anyway, I'm here for you. Unlike Congress, please remember that no matter what, Congress, they can take a hike. Get out of here, Congress. Go find something to better do. And I'll be here for you no matter what. That is my dedication to you and this community. All right, thanks everybody. I truly appreciate you. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Make sure to share the video with your friends, family, social media. Go back and check out any of the other videos here on the channel, as there are thousands and thousands of videos. And if you don't like Congress right now, give this video a like. All right, thanks again. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you later.